And it has been a crazy week in the stock markets. What's going on, guys? It's Cash Boozer bringing to you the latest and the greatest about the stock market. What's going on with the S&P? What's going on with the Nasdaq, the Bitcoin, VIX, dollar index, Apple. So without wasting time, we will head over to my screen and take a look at some of the things that's going. So before we dive into the charts, let's take a look at what the sentiment says. Bulls are pumping their way out. They're like, we are all in on this market. 50% of the market participants are bullish on the market. Historical averages, take a look at that. 37% only and 31% neutral, 31% bearish. But as of now, take a look at this: 50% bullish and 22 neutral and 26 bearish. This is the kind of stuff you want to see if you are short on the market. You want to see extreme exuberance in the markets. You want to see everyone going all in, and that's when you need to be cautious. Let's take a look at some other stuff. FedEx is plummeting. The earnings are bad, and Wall Street says stick with it. I'm like, why do you want to stick with it? Just own the S&P 500. I have seen a lot of pain, a lot of problems, and I'm just like, why do you want to stick with it? But anyway, we will look at FedEx chart and see if this is tradable. Next, let's take a look at the market returns in the last 2 weeks. Look at that. S&P 500 just pumping and pumping and pumping. In the week ending on the 13th, S&P posted massive returns, 4%. Look at that. You didn't have to do anything other than just hold the S&P 500. Year to date, S&P is about 19%, just below the utilities and the communication sector. Everyone is like, go all in on technology, but look at that. Technology is only 15%. If you just own the S&P 500, there's no problems from an investment perspective. Let's take a look at some of the stuff that's going on. So I've talked about this a lot. We are in a rate cutting cycle from a Fed's perspective. They just cut rates 50 basis points. And you're like, okay, Cash Boozer, that's old news. What do you have to say about that? But take a look at this. We are right here. We are just starting the rate cutting, and there are two ways this is going to play out. Either it's going to take a no recessionary path where it just completely goes up and away and everything is good, or it goes in a slump like that. But 0 to 6 months is very interesting, because if a non-recessionary path takes place, 0 to 6 months is on a rocket ship. Look at that. It's above the 70th percentile. But if it's in a recessionary path, look at that. It's in a very choppy market for the next 6 months. And this is what makes the market tricky, and this is what we have to watch out for. And let's take a look at some more stuff. So Trump media is plummeting. Another bad day for Trump. Mr. Trump, tell us, how are we gonna fix it?
I see this. It's so incredible. Ding, 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 ding. Boom. Okay. Pshin, boom. Star Wars.
Okay, we're gonna fix it with Star Wars. Another bad day for Trump media. What can I say? You should have gotten out earlier, but you don't listen to Cash Boozer. That's okay. So something really interesting I wanted to show you guys is a soft landing versus a hard landing scenario. Everyone is like, you know what? A soft landing is in place. Fed is like, a soft landing is in place. And a lot of people actually believe, look at that. 79% of the people believe that a soft landing is in play. And we want this percentage to be higher and higher. If we want a crash in the market, and a lot of people are like, we just want this thing to crash so we can make a lot of money on the puts. I get it. But if you want everything to crash, you want this number to keep pumping up, and that's when the problem really starts to happen. We'll take a look at some charts now. So first up is FedEx, absolutely getting destroyed. The way FedEx and UPS trades tells us a lot about the economy. If FedEx and UPS is crashing, that means a lot of problems are underneath. We're just not seeing that yet. But Cash Boozer, can we trade this? Let's take a look at it. So we want to see FedEx to come down a little bit more. We want to see the $244 mark on FedEx. Once this reaches, and once we see a structure, let's mark the structure right here. We want to see something like this. We want to see some, and then if we see bullish price, we will trade this to the upside. But as of now, no trades. It's a falling knife. Don't catch it. You're gonna hurt yourself. Next, Rivian. What's going on with Rivian? So what happened with Rivian? In short, it's a bloodbath. But could we have saved ourselves from this? The answer is absolutely yes, because it was not trading above the 200-day moving average. Do not touch anything below the 200-day moving average. Chances are that it is setting up for a fall and you're gonna hurt yourself, and chances are you might even lose your home. So don't do it. It might find a little bit of a basing pattern between the current level and $10, but there's no confirmation. We don't trade this stuff. Let's take a look at SPY. What's going on with SPY? Again, it is almost at record levels. Everyone is like, Cash Booza, SPY is gonna crash, Nasdaq is gonna crash, Bitcoin is gonna crash, everything's gonna go down the sinkhole. Do you see any of that? I don't see any of that. Look at that. It's almost at record highs. And my prediction for next week, the way the candle has closed, I'm gonna show you guys something really interesting. The way the candle has closed over here, it has closed above the resistance level right here. This was the resistance level right here. It closed above. That means that there is strength in the market. Next week is probably going to be a bullish week. My candle prediction is going to be something like this. Not an investment advice. Play at your own risk, but this is what I am expecting for next week. No problems with SPY yet, no reversal patterns. If I do see reversals, I will let you know, but as of now, no reversal. Let's take a look at Qs. What's going on with Qs? Qs is coming up to a resistance level right here. This is where the resistance level for Qs is, 486 on the Qs. Again, it needs to clear this level. If it does clear this level, I can see all-time highs. The Qs is probably going to follow a lot of what the S&P does and what the broader market does. Let's take a look at IWM, the small caps. So small caps sold 1%. Okay, so we already know that there is problem over here. We already know there's a lot of rejection at this level. And it might go something like this, guys, for the next week and the weeks after. We have no direction on the IWM. It clearly rejected the level that I was watching, and now it is selling off just a little bit. Next week is very crucial for IWM, and I'm going to be watching this like a hawk. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. What's going on with Bitcoin? Absolutely nothing, guys. This thing has not been doing a lot of action like it has been doing in the past. Can we trade this? Not really. It's just kind of in a coiling pattern. It's just doing something like that. And we don't really know where the break is going to happen. If the break is going to happen to the downside, we're watching 53,500. If the break happens to the upside, we're watching 73,000. Pretty simple. Anything below, we short. Anything above, we go long. Let's take a look at the volatility. If the VIX climbs up, if the VIX trades above 20, that's a cautionary signal, and we have to proceed with caution. Right now, VIX is below 20. Not too much going on. The dollar index, I've given you guys this trade on the dollar. Look at that. It came down. I told you don't panic on the dollar. Everyone was like, but Cash Booza, dollar came down, it went below 100, and yes, that was a trap. And I'm gonna prove that to you right now, because take a look at this wick right here below the 200-day weekly moving average. So dollar came down, they were like, okay, we're going to take a lot of the shorts that have been placed and then pump the dollar back up. And that's exactly what happened. It's trading above the 200-day moving average on the weekly, and as long as this holds, not too many problems on the dollar. I can see dollar do something like this if the S&P rejects the current all-time highs. Apple, what's going on with Apple? So Apple is rejecting the level again. So Apple is rejecting the all-time highs, and we don't see a massive bullish candle on Apple just yet. Tesla put up some massive percentages yesterday, but it cleared the 200 period moving average on the weekly, so it is all right. It is tradable. It checks off one of our criteria for trading, and we want to see more strength coming in on Tesla because Tesla is everyone's favorite and you guys love Tesla. So Tesla shows strength. Tesla is looking good on the weekly. The way this candle is closing, I am not seeing too many problems. We want to see strength continue to build, and we will place our trades accordingly. Let's take a look at gold, the absolute monster. I am a big fan of gold. The rally just continues to pump. We will do the cat dance for gold. Let's do this, guys. Come on. Wow. Unbelievable. Let's go. Yes. all-time high. And I want to congratulate all the gold hodlers, everyone who's in this trade, everyone who has been pumping gold. This is something that nobody's talking about. And this is the fact that it's so beautiful. No one's talking about it, and that's when you need to get in. When no one's talking about it, that's when you get in. I can see gold building up strength. My price target for gold is 3,000. And it's doing amazing in this recession, non-recession, whatever is going on in this market. But from a technical perspective, no problems. Gold is doing fantastic. So that's all I had for you guys today. I hope you liked today's show. If you did, give me a thumbs up and follow Cash Booza, because I will bring you the greatest news on the stock markets. I'll see you on Monday.